showed them uneducated and dirty.
We were treated terribly.
The growers got together and had a big book burning. They didn't want the American public to know how badly they had treated these Dust Bowl people.
There's still some hard feelings about those things, and I'd just like to see a little bit more of the human element brought back into it. 2014 marks the 75th anniversary of the publication of John Steinbeck's novel, The Grapes of Wrath. So this classic novel really is sort of bigger than life.
The Grapes of Wrath was a great piece of American history that gave the story of farm workers primarily, but especially those farm workers that came from the Dust Bowl during the Depression, and that were treated very badly in California.
Crossing the divide and down into the bright and terrible desert, and across the desert to the mountains again, and into the rich California valley. 66 is the mother road, the road of flight.
My mother had a brother that lived in Dos Palace, California. He wrote us a letter and said there's lots of work out here. So we borrowed enough money against our crops to buy a new pickup. And we all started out for California.
It was pretty hard, the trip. We stayed in some little motel or little cabins along the way. And it was very desolate, a very long, hard, desolate trip.
That's a nice place to live, you bet, over by Weed Patch. Got nice toilets and baths, and you can wash clothes in a tub, and there's water right handy, good drinking water. And nights the folks play music. Oh, you never seen anything so nice.
We left Oklahoma and we landed here in the government camp. Lived in a tent for 7 years.
The first thing we moved into was a little milk house, just a tent alongside it. It wasn't very much.
The vineyards, the orchards, the great flat valley, green and beautiful, the trees set in rows, and the farmhouses.
I was 7 years old, but I could pick up them potatoes and a stub, what's called a stub, we got a penny a stub.
I was always going to school, but the minute I got home from school, I had to go to the fields. Went out in the cotton fields and picked cotton when it wasn't raining. And then when you would get to the scales, stow away your cotton, they'd knock 20% off of it.
Okie used to mean you was from Oklahoma. And now it means you're dirty. Okie means you're scum. Don't mean nothing itself, it's the way they say it.
Oh, I read the book, and I saw the movie half a dozen times. It was a lot of truth. Local people didn't want their kids going to school with us. I lived the Grapes of Wrath.
It was a terrible life. I was so afraid.
They had The Grapes of Wrath behind lock and key. The book was translated, it was all over the world, and yet people here in Kern County couldn't get a copy of the book.
There's a lot that hasn't changed. I look at people out in the fields, and my heart breaks for them because I've picked potatoes, I've picked tomatoes, you name it, I've done it all.
We still have a lot of farm workers out there. Instead of Tom Joad, who was of course the hero in The Grapes of Wrath, we now have Juan Garcia or Maria Lopez, but we still have the plight of our farm workers that are still not being respected. They're still not being given the type of love that they should get for feeding the nation. So The Grapes of Wrath was written a long time ago, but it's still that message is still pertinent in today's world.
Sí me recuerda nomás que nada más, pues no es el mismo tiempo de antes. Ahora ya está más mejorada la cosa.
So what we'd like to do is to celebrate the novel in all of its cultural legacy. We don't necessarily celebrate the hardship. We celebrate the art and the history and the memories. Let's not forget. It's who we are, and it's who we have become, and it also tells us who we might become. So the sense that we came from somewhere is good to remember, and then the sense that we also have somewhere to go, things to achieve.
I really believe that we can take this moment in our history and magnify it and use this Grapes of Wrath moment to make our country a better place.
You gotta have patience. Us people will go on living when all them people is gone. We're the people that live. They ain't gonna wipe us out. Why? We're the people. We go on. Rich fellas come up and they die, and their kids ain't no good and they die out. But we keep a-comin'.